Narayana namaskritya Narayana narotamam Devam saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam udhiraye Nasta parishvabhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavate uttamasloke Bhakti bhavati nastiki Vede ramane chaiva purane bharati tata Hadu antihya chamhadicha Ari savatya giyate Mukam kroti vachalam Pangulang grati grim Yakripataham vande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramandana Madhava Dhamma Prajita Katavota Paramoni Mashram Satam Vedam Vastavam Atavastu Svadam Tapataya Mulana Sima Bhagavati Mahamoni Krinte Kivai Paramisvara Saido Rudi Havarudi Trakita Aktivitakshinam Nigama Kapa Phalam Galitam Mukandravasam Pipatam Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Mahura Urasika Vibhabuka Atoyam Brahma Sultana Gayatri Vinayagati Basharu Poshu Vedatam Paribitan Savidan Tasara Mishi Bhakta Misyate Tarasamita Syati Prashana Yate Sharati Pachin Anamo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Anamo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are continuing the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 4, the chapter of the atrocities of King Kamsa. So this chapter describes how Kamsa, it's killing the children of Devaki, and of course the last one happened to be a daughter, and Kamsa was not successful in that one. So today, text number 5, Bahavo Imshita Bhrata Sishabaha Pavakopamaha Traya Daiva Nisistena Putri Kaika Pradiyatam Bhavo Insika Vrata Bhavo Imshita Bhrata Sisabaha Pavakopamaha Tvaya Daiva Nisristena Putri Kaika Pradiyatam Bahava many Imshitaha kill out of envy Bhrata my dear brother Sishabaha small children Pavaka Upamaha all of them equal to fire in brightness and beauty Tvaya by you Daivanisristena are spoken by destiny Putrika daughter Eka one Pradiyatam give me as your gift. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. My dear brother, by the influence of destiny, you have already killed many babies, each of them as bright and beautiful as fire. But kindly spare this daughter. Give her to me as your gift. Purport. Here, we see that Devaki first focused Kamsa's attention on his atrocious activities, his killing of her many sons. Then she wanted to compromise with him by saying that whatever he had done was not his fault, but was ordained by destiny. Then she appealed to him to give her the daughter as a gift. Devaki was the daughter of a Kshatriya and knew how to play the political game. In politics, there are different methods of achieving success. First, repression, dharma, then compromise, sama, and then asking for a gift, dana. Devaki first adopted the policy of repression by directly attacking Kamsa for having cruelly, atrociously killed her babies. Then she compromised by saying that this was not his fault, and then she begged for a gift. As we have learned from the history of the Mahabharata or Greater India, the wives and daughters of the ruling class, the Kshatriyas, knew the political game. But we never find that a woman was given the post of chief executive. This is in accordance with the injunctions of Manu Samhita. But unfortunately, Manu Samhita is now being insulted, and the Aryans, the members of Vedic society, cannot do anything. Such is the nature of Kali Yuga. Nothing happens unless ordained by destiny. Tashaiba ito prayati na kovido na labyate ya brahmatam upariyadaha ta labyate dukkavar anyata sukam kalena sabatra gabira ramasa. It's from Bhagavatam 1st Canto, chapter 5, text number 18. This is spoken by Nada Muni. Devaki knew very well that because the killing of her many children had been ordained by destiny, Kamsa was not to be blamed. There was no need to give good instructions to Kamsa. Upade so I mukanam pakopaya na santaye. Chanake Pandit. If a foolish person is given good instructions, he becomes more and more angry. Moreover, a cruel person is more dangerous than a snake. A snake and a cruel person are both cruel. But a cruel person is more dangerous because although a snake can be charmed by mantras or subdued by herbs, a cruel person cannot be subdued by any means. Such was the nature of Kamsa. Gurave Gurachandaya Ratikaya Tadalaye Krishna Yaksham Bhaktaya Tab Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Agana Timendasya Ganan Ganan Salakaya Chaksusmita Yinatasma Sri Gurave Namaha Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nebise Sasunyavadi Pashtadishtarine Vachaka Patrubhyas Chakripa Sunvivacha Patitanam Pavanavibhyu Vaishnavibhyu Namo Namaha. So I thank everyone for being here this morning. especially the senior Vaishnavas. So by your blessing, I can say something about this. This wonderful adventure of Bhagavatam, whereby Kamsa, of course, fearing for his life, so he wanted to nip at the bud that because the prediction that the sons or the progeny of Devaki, who happened to be his sister, will kill him. So therefore, even though previously he was very affectionate to his daughter, to his sister Devaki, but now hearing that her children, her offspring, will kill him, so he decided to. First of all, she wanted to kill Devaki herself. As we read in the first chapter, he wanted to kill Devaki, but because of the organs of Vasudev, so he desisted from killing Devaki, but because Vasudev had offered to hand over his children to Kamsa as soon as they are born, so Kamsa, he agreed to the compromise that okay, any children born to Devaki, he will do what is necessary, which is basically to kill them, because that will, to him, okay, by killing them, so that will take care of any children of Devaki killing him in the future. And of course, the demons, they have no understanding on the Lord's work, how it works, manipulate his affairs. So to them, everything they do is based on the particular calculations they can make. They will make so many schemes, so that by such scheme they can prevent what can be the future calamity. Just like Rama Maharaj was explaining yesterday of how Devaki, he had offered the daughter who had been born to, he said that, look, tell him Kamsa that this is going to be your daughter-in-law. This is going to be your daughter-in-law. So why you want to kill your own daughter-in-law? Because she said, okay, because you're going to have a son, and when my daughter grows up, she be the wife of your son. She be your daughter-in-law. So why you want to kill such valuable relatives? So the Devaki, she had to do so many. She has to employ many different ways to appeal to Kamsa not to kill this child. And of course, as we've learned, that this is not an ordinary child, because happened to be Dugadevi herself, who has appeared as the daughter of Mother Yashoda, and now this daughter is being brought to Mathura. Now it's in the hands of Devaki, by which Kamsa is trying to snatch. But Mother Devaki, she has this intense, deep motherly feelings that how can someone kill a child? A child is meant to be nourished, a baby, especially a baby. So in this verse which we are reading today, in the beginning, she said that, Bahavo Imsita, brother, my dear brother, you have killed so many of my children. Out of cruelty, you've cruelly killed all these children of mine. Kill them, all my children. Cancer killed 6 of them. He killed 6. One after the other, before Krishna came. The seventh pregnancy was said to be was said to be, what is that? When women cannot, miscarriage. It was said to be a miscarriage because it was Balaram who was in the womb of Devaki, and Krishna had Balaram transfer to the womb of Mother Rohini. So to the womb of Rohini. So it was said to be a miscarriage that Devaki had. Of course, it was not a miscarriage, but it appeared to be that way. And then of course, Krishna himself came within the womb of Devaki. And then the story of going to the Mathura, to Vrindavan, it's all there in the previous chapter that we have read. So, so Devaki first accusing, now she's not accusing Kamsa now that you have callously killed all my children. Accusing Kamsa this way. And then she realized that, maybe accusing him may not be so good. She said, maybe accusing him may not be so good, because you had accused him of, because when you accuse someone who is so cruel as Kamsa, you accuse such a person, that is, they will get much more furious, much more angry. So immediately she has the right quick thing and say, maybe this is not good. So she used the damage control. This is the word of the acharyas, many acharyas who have made the comments on this particular verse. That Devaki, she has to use the damage control by saying, well, actually, all these children that you have killed, it's not your fault. This is according to destiny. According to destiny, destinies have impelled you to kill all these children. So, she's not attributing the fault of killing her children. She's not attributing that fault to Kamsa. She said, this is destiny's own arrangement. After us, nothing happens unless ordained by destiny. So Slapapa, in one line, he put in one line here, that yes, the fact is, everything happened this way because of destiny. That's is unavoidable thing. Because sometimes it's natural that when something happened to us, we want to immediately put a blame on it. Something happened to us, we want to say, because of this, because of that this is happening to me. But men who have knowledge, they know that nothing in this world happened by accident. Everything happened by something. Nothing happened by accident. Just like Prabhupada, he mentioned that he said that we often say that a man is the architect of his fortune. Yes, man is the architect of his fortune, but he's also the architect of his misfortune. Because both fortune and misfortune is there. It's not that we're, everything that happened to us, either good or bad, is because of something that has been done previously. So in the Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 1, when Parikshit Maharaj, when he was going in the forest, he was inspecting what's going on in the kingdom, and he saw that personified Kali, he was abusing a cow and a bull. He was beating their leg, abusing them, breaking their legs and all that. So when Parikshit Maharaj, when he saw this, he was furious. He said that, how dare you, he was telling the Kali that, how dare you do such a heinous thing in my kingdom? Abusing cow, bull, who are the personified Dharma, the personification of religion. How dare you do this in my kingdom? So Parikshit Maharaj, first of all, before before he decided to punish Kali, he went to the bull and cow, the bull, and asked him to tell him, because he saw the suffering. He said that both of them, both the bull and the cow, they were lamenting, and Parishar Maharaj tried to find out from them what is the nature of their suffering. What is the nature of their suffering? He asked them. So they reply. So the mother bull reply. The bull reply. Na bayam klesha bijani yatasyu purusha sabha purusham tam vijani mo vakya veda vimohitaha. He said, "Oh, greatest among human beings, it is very difficult to ascertain the particular miscreant who has caused our suffering, because we are bewildered by all the different opinions of theoretical philosophers. Because, we try to ascertain the cause of sufferings. So different philosophers, they have their particular reasonings, they have their particular ideas why there is suffering in the world. So it's like Prabhupada mentioned in the purport here. He said, there are many theoretical philosophers in the world who put forward their own theories of cause and effect, especially about the cause of suffering and its effect on different living beings. Generally, there are 6 great philosophers: Kanada, the author of Vaiseshika philosophy; Gautama, the author of logic; Patanjali, the author of mystic yoga; Kapil, the author of Sankhya philosophy; Jaimini, the author of Kamamimamsa; and Vyasadeva, the author of Vedanta Darshan. Although the bull, or the personality of religion, and the cow, the personality of the earth, knew perfectly well that the personality of Kali was the direct cause of their sufferings, still, as devotees of the Lord, they knew very well also that without the sanction of the Lord, no one could inflict trouble upon them. According to the Padma Puran, our present trouble is due to the fructifying of seedling sins. But even those seedling sins also gradually take away by execution of pure devotional service. Thus, even if the devotees see the mischief mongers, they do not accuse them for the sufferings inflicted. They take it for granted that the mischief monger is made to act by some indirect cause, and therefore they tolerate the sufferings, thinking them to be God-given in small doses. For otherwise, the sufferings should have been greater. So this point out the devotees' mentality. Devotees, even though they may be encountering many problems, many people may be giving them so many difficulties, but they will never ascribe blame to the particular cause of their suffering. Rather, as mentioned here, everything happened by destiny. Talking about the mood of devotees, just like when in Navadip, during the Chaitanya Lila, when Lalitananda Prabhu, he was struck on the head by Madai. A broken pot was smashed on his head, that the blood was coming out. So when Mahaprabhu came along with his associates, and Mahaprabhu saw the blood was coming from his forehead, from the forehead of Lord Nityananda. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, was very, very furious, was very, very angry. He took up his Sudarshan chakra, ready to kill the culprit. But Lord Nityananda Prabhu said, no. This is, they said, no. These are not the cause. You actually appealed to Lord Chaitanya Prabhu that no, this is not the case. That my suffering is not due to these persons. So in this way, the mood of a devotee is like that. That sometimes, let's say we are on Sankirtan, and somebody come and attack us, which happens many, many times. But so our immediate mentality is to see, okay, how can we defend ourselves? How can we point out the culprit? But a devotee who has made sufficient advancement, we realize that yes, things happen according to a particular destiny. You know that whatever happened to us is basically because of what we have done previously. It's because of our previous thing. And even though something is happening to us now, a devotee will accept that, yeah, this is happening to me because of my past. And what is happening to me now could have been much more greater than what it should have been. But somehow the Lord is very, very kind upon me. So therefore, He's allowing my suffering to be minimal. He's allowing my suffering to be minimal. Otherwise, my suffering will have been much more greater than what I'm getting now. So this is a devotee's mentality. So here, Mother Devaki, she's not, this is not your fault. This is destiny. Whatever you have done is all according to destiny. We know that these 6 children of Devaki who were killed by Kamsa, who were they previously? Who were they? So, one time when Lord Brahma, he was, he became lusty towards his own daughter. So Lord Brahma became lusty towards his own daughter, and then he started chasing her, who had taken the form of a deer. So he started chasing his own daughter, Lord Brahma. And of course, that he did not follow through. But seeing this incident, the 6 sons of Marichi was one of the, is Marichi, right? Marichi, who was one of the sons of Lord Brahma. Yeah, so Marichi was the son of Brahma. So he had 6 sons, children. So those 6 children, they were making fun of Lord Brahma. They were basically criticizing Lord Brahma that, such a great personality, he could not control himself. He could not control himself. So, as stated in the scriptures, the act of criticizing a superior person is actually a grievous offense to criticize a superior person. If you want to see the activities of a superior person, which may not be normal, and then we started criticizing such activities, then that's a great offense. So because of what these 6 children of Mauritia have done by criticizing Lord Brahma, who actually happened to be their grandfather, so because of these 6 children, they were punished. They were punished. First, they were killed by Hiranyakashipu. I think they were, right? They were first killed by Hiranyakashipu. I think they were children of something like that. They were killed 3 times. 3 different times they were killed. 3 different times. Second time, I think it was Kalalemis. And so the 3rd time, they were killed by Kamsa. 3rd time, they were killed by Kamsa the 3rd times. And in order for their purification, because they had to be purified of that offense which they had committed towards Lord Brahma, so it was after Lord Krishna brought these 6 children who were in the abode of Yamaraj. He brought them to Mother Devaki, because after Krishna had brought back the sons of his teacher from the abode of Yamaraj, and Mother Devaki, she wanted the same for her 6 children who had been killed by Kamsa, she wanted to see them because she knew that, yes, Krishna is able to bring somebody from the abode of death. So Krishna went to Yamaraj. I think it was Yamaraj or Bali, one of the two. Anyway, Krishna brought back these 6 children, and these 6 children, they were fed by the milk of Mother Devaki. So because of being touched by a pure devotee, so they became free from that offense which they had committed to Lord Brahma. So which means we have to be very, very careful of criticizing those who are superior to us. Even though we may have a good intention, still criticism of a superior is never tolerated of superior. And that warning was given when Chaitanya Prabhu, when there was a Brahmana who tried to criticize Lord Nityananda, and this Brahmana went to Lord Chaitanya Prabhu in Puri, tried to say that, this Avaduta Nityananda Prabhu, is wearing so many wonderful, so many jewelries in his body, and anyway, he tried to criticize Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He went to Lord Chaitanya Prabhu in Puri, so Chaitanya Prabhu had to give him this warning that yes, the activities of superior person should never be under any circumstance be criticized. The activities of a superior persons. And then Chaitanya Prabhu, of course, narrated these pastimes of these 6 children of Marichi, how they criticized Lord Brahma and all that. So therefore, these 6 sons, they were killed by Kamsa. So therefore, what Devaki was saying, that this is according to destiny, so therefore it's not your fault, because somehow she has to pacify Kamsa somehow. She has to pacify him. That's why she's begging that, please give me this daughter as a gift. Let me at least have someone as a child. Many of my children have been killed. It's not your fault. At least let me have one person, one baby. After all, the duty of every woman, they like to have at least a child. So she's begging Kamsa. But of course, Kamsa is, being a demon, will not, hear. Because the demoniac person, they are so determined in everything they do. So, talking of destiny, we have the case of Karna. Karna, who was he was maternal brother of the Pandavas, but they didn't know. Karna also didn't know. Only Mother Kunti knows that, because Karna was born by Mother Kunti when she was still a young girl, a virgin, in the house of her father. But when Karna was born, he was immediately put in the river to die. He was born, no fault of his own, but he was put in the river to die. And then Karna, of course, when Karna was growing up, he went to learn. He went to the house of his guru, to Parasuram, to learn the art of archery. Because after all, Karna Karna was a Kshatriya. He was the son of the sun god. He was not an ordinary person. So Karna, he was when he went to Parasuram, because Parasuram, he made a condition that he will only train only those who are Kshatriya. He will only train them. But Karna, he was not, at that time he was called as, he was known as the son of a chariot driver. He was known that time. So no one knows his actual identity, because after all, he was raised by a charioteer. He was raised by a charioteer. So when Karna, so he went to Parasuram in a disguise. He said, I am a Brahmana, something like that. So he went to Parasuram, as a disguise. So Parasuram gave him training. He trained him up as a Kshatriya. He trained him as a fighter. But there was one time when Parasuram was taking rest, and his head was lying on the lap of Karna. So the Guru was taking rest, his head lying on the lap of Kana. So as an insect came and started digging, started biting the leg of Kana, started biting deeply in his leg. And then as he was digging, even blood started. But Kana, because being a short hair, the short hair they tolerate. They have a huge amount of tolerance. So he did not chase away this insect, which was biting deeply into his flesh. And then the blood came out of his body. And when the blood came out, so the blood somehow flows into the body of Parasuram. So when Parasuram woke up and he saw blood on his body, he asked, "What is this? What is this? What is this on my body?" And then, of course, Kana tried to explain that, an insect had come to my body. I did not want to disturb. He did not want to disturb the sleep of the Guru. So therefore, he did not prevent the insect from biting him. So Parashuram became angry. He said, "Oh, this kind of tolerance, this can only be done only by Kshatriyas. So therefore, you have lied to me. So therefore, I curse you. I curse you that when you need it the most, you will forget that mantra. When you will need it the most, you become forgetful." So this is destiny, No fault of his own. They just want to do some service to the Guru. But Guru took it the different way. So the Guru cursed him. This is destiny. And then, towards Mahabharata, the time of Mahabharata war, when Lord Krishna, even Kunti, they tried to find a way. They didn't want Kana, because that Kana is his fighting skill is actually even much greater than Arjuna himself. It's actually much greater than Arjuna himself. But the only person that can defeat the Pandavas is Kana. So, when at the end, then Lord Krishna told Kana that the Pandavas, they are your brother. You should come to their side and fight on their side. They are actually your brother, and you're supposed to be because you, being the first son of Kunti, this empire actually belongs to you. You should be the emperor, because immediately you just know that you are his elder brother. Immediately, he would immediately give the kingdom to you, because you know that only the elder brothers can be the emperor. So when Kana heard this, he was so totally, he lost all morality. He said, "What is this? This is my brother. This is my brother." But because he had already made this pledge with Duryodhana, he had already made the pledge with Duryodhana. He said, "I already made my pledge with Duryodhana. I cannot go back. If I go back, then Duryodhana said that they will say that I'm doing this out of cowardry, because I'm very coward." So therefore, even though he knew that yes, the Pandavas are his brother, he still had to fight on behalf of Duryodhana. This is the whole act of destiny. So how the destiny works is really difficult to estimate. Difficult to estimate. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he quoted a verse from the Bhagavatam, which was, this was spoken by Narada Muni in the first canto Bhagavatam. Narada Muni was talking with Vyasadeva. So he said, "Tashyava eto prayate ta kovido, na labate ya brahmatam upariyadaha, talabhyate dukhavan anjata sukam, kalena sabatra gabira Ramasa." So the translation is in the other part of Bhagavatam here. So this is the first canto, chapter 5, text 18. So Narada Muni says, persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet, Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. So happiness comes, distress comes, it's all by destiny. So therefore, our church is saying we should only aspire for that purposeful end, which cannot be attained by wandering anywhere in this material world. That is, which means by seeking the shelter of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada said in the purport here, he said, every man, everywhere is trying to obtain the greatest amount of sense enjoyment by various endeavors. Some men are busy engaged in trade, industry, economic development, political supremacy, etc. And some of them are engaged in fruitive work to become happy in the next life by attaining higher planets. It is said that on the moon, the inhabitants are fit for greater sense enjoyment by drinking somaras, and the Pitriloka is obtained by good charitable work. So, there are various programs for sense enjoyment, either during this life or in the life after death. Some are trying to reach the moon or other planets by some mechanical arrangement, for they are very anxious to get into such planets without doing good work. But it is not to happen. By the law of the Supreme, different places are meant for different grades of living beings according to the work they have performed. By good work only, as prescribed in the scriptures, can one obtain birth in a good family, opulence, good education, and good bodily features. We see also that even in this life, one obtains a good education or money by good work. Similarly, in our next birth, we get such desirable positions only by good work. Otherwise, it will not so happen that two persons born in the same place at the same time are seen differently placed according to previous work. But all such material positions are impermanent. The positions in the topmost Brahmaloka and in the lowest Patala are also changeable according to our own work. The philosophically inclined person must not be tempted by such changeable positions. He should try to get into the permanent life of bliss and knowledge, where he will not be forced to come back again to the miserable material world, either in this or that planet. Miseries and mixed happiness are two features of material life, and they are obtained in Brahmaloka and in other lokas also. They are obtained in the life of the demigods and also in the life of the dogs and hogs. The miseries and mixed happiness of all living beings are only of different degree and quality, but no one is free from the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Similarly, everyone has his destined happiness also. No one can get more or less of these things simply by personal endeavor. Even if they are obtained, they can be lost again. One should not therefore waste time with these flimsy things. One should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. That should be the mission of everyone's life. So the different teachings are there by the great authorities. This question of destiny, which is called adrishta. Adrishta means what cannot be seen. So, it's very wonderful things that here, so Mother Devaki, she's trying to appeal to Kamsa to at least give her this daughter as a gift for her. So we're going to in the next verses. So we're going to be hear more about the further atrocities of Kamsa. So I'm going to stop here. If there's any question or comment, you can please. Maybe Maharaj want to add something. Some comment? Yeah. Okay.
Everything is seen as destiny, so if someone is acting very cruel, like Kamsa is acting cruel, I mean, the Vaishnavas get upset and angry, the devotees get angry to see that if someone is mistreating others, but then should we think that, well, it's Krishna allowing it because it's destiny, so why should we interfere? How do we distinguish between good and bad if ultimately the bad is also destiny and Krishna is allowing it to happen?
Well, I mean, if something is happening to us personally, I accept it as destiny. But if, of course, it's our duty to defend, to defend Vaishnavas. It's our duty to defend Vaishnavas. If somebody is coming to attack them, so we have to defend them. Otherwise, that we consider stupidity, ignorance. Yeah, destiny, when it comes to our individual self, we'll accept whatever is happening to me, that's my destiny. I'm not going to, because after I've done something in my previous life, that's why I'm getting this. But if you see Vaishnav being attacked, we have to defend, we have to do that. Only when it applies to our individual self, So we know that Mother Devaki, that's what she's saying here. She's okay, this is not your fault. At least, what you have done is by destiny,
So it's also destiny to react to it, but it's destiny, but our reaction to that could also be destiny. We beat them up. Destiny.
Well, that's kind of defense, that's self-defense, which the Vaishnavas really do not do. But again, it's somebody's attack. How can I say somebody's going to attack me? How do I do that? Of course, in all the scripture, just like Jesus in the Bible said that if somebody slap you on the right cheek, you should turn the other side. Turn the left cheek for them to slap back. So that shows the tolerance of the Vaishnava. Nityananda Prabhu, he did not react when Madai, threw the pot on his head. He simply, he tolerated it. Whereas Chaitanya Prabhu was ready to kill him, to kill Madai, but Nityananda Prabhu, he had to appeal to Chaitanya Prabhu. He said, no, don't do that. If you kill him, then you have to kill all the sinners in Kali Yuga. So something personally to us, we are supposed to be, not to be humble, tolerant, basically. But if you see another Vaishnava being attacked, of course, that we have to do. That we have to defend. It's our moral duty to defend, a Vaishnava being attacked. Maybe Maharaj can say something about that.
I think we are in general situation, the theory of karma, our destiny, and destiny eventually is also our karma. In general, but here, like some special cases, pastime of Krishna, so everything doesn't apply there. In general case, we suffer or enjoy every our suffering or enjoy. This is our individual, personally we are responsible because we have to.
Yeah.
But in general case, special case here at the pastime of Krishna, Nityananda provide no doubt any sinful activity that he was.
Yeah, he was just a pastor, man. Yeah. Krishna. Maharaj, Prabhupada said something about it? Did Prabhupada say something about that? Something Prabhupada's pastimes regarding to that aspect?
Okay, they'll prolong the class too long. If he starts his pastime to go on forever, that's our destiny.
Okay. Okay, so I guess I think Raghavina Maharaj has come. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Jai Grantrashma Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gopi Manande. Hare Krishna.